Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nalini Bansal and today we'll discuss a case of gastric biopsy in which the patient had presented with abdominal pain and thus the gastric biopsy was taken. So as we could make out from this bit, the surface epithelium will go from the surface epithelium downwards, and what we see here is that the epithelium is showing little villiform change, so that means there is some distortion of the foveolar architecture. So the normal gastric architecture is little disturbed here because we could see some villi like projection on the surface as we could see here, and then going down in the lamina propria we see that there is little increase in the inflammation in the lamina propria. So we have these two bits and both the bits are showing little distortion of the surface epithelium, and as you could see here, so it is more villiform in the second bit as is seen here. So this is little more villiform, and generally we do not see this amount of villiform nature of the gastric biopsy. So the architecture is little disturbed. Now from the architecture we'll go down as we say. So we see here that within the lamina propria, there is mild increase in the lymphoplasmacytic cell infiltrate, and the infiltrate that is constituting the lamina propria, so that we are going to delineate more on the high part. So once in the high part, we'll see what is the inflammatory, what is the nature of the infiltrate, and here it seems to be mild to moderately increased, and we could see an admixture of lymphoplasmacytic cells. So you see here that there is also a foci of cryptitis, which is constituted by the polymorph. Again, within this crypt, we could see that there are areas of cryptitis where the polymorphs had infiltrated the crypt epithelium. So there are two foci of cryptitis. There is also increase in lymphocytes and plasma cell that we see within the lamina propria. And in addition, there is also an admixture of acute inflammatory cells. So now once we see the polymorphs within the crypt epithelium, an important thing to look for in the gastric biopsy is that what is causing the cryptitis in the gastric biopsy. So as I mentioned, this is the crypt in which the polymorph had infiltrated the crypt epithelium. And once we find this thing in the gastric biopsy, we are going to go back on the surface and going to look whether there is any associated etiology which is causing these areas of cryptitis. So when we discuss a crypt epithelium within the crypt, then we are going to look for a bacilli that is called an H. pylori bacilli, and they're usually seen within the crypts and they'll be seen as a rod-shaped bacilli. So these are the structures that was visible within the crypts. So we really had to look hard on a high par to look for them. They'll be seen as elongated rod-shaped bacilli within the crypts. So these are all rod-shaped, numerous rod-shaped bacilli within the crypts. Most of these will be confined within the mucus layer, that is they will be near to the epithelial lining. And why? Because they are being protected by the mucin which is being released by these mucus cell. So we have these gastric foveolae and they're releasing, constantly secreting mucin into the crypt lumen, and it is these H. pylori which float into the lumen of the crypt. So basically the area where we are going to look for the H. pylori is within the surface within the crypt lumen, but they could also be seen within the crypts which are present within the gastric gland. So here we could see numerous rod-shaped bacilli. They could be little comma-shaped at areas, but they'll be not corkscrew-like, and that is a different morphology altogether. So when we say H. pylori, there is a little bent, and sometimes they just appear as a rod-shaped bacilli. So what next do you do to confirm this? So if you have, you can go for a modified Giemsa stain, and this modified Giemsa stain is specifically done to look for H. pylori, and how it helps us is this is what we see here. So these were the numerous crypts that we are seeing on the surface, and then when we go on the high par, we could see that these crypts are filled by these bluish stained bacilli. So it is important to get a Giemsa stain done if you are not sure whether the bacilli that you are seeing are H. pylori or they are just the contaminants. So the two important differentials that will help you to decide whether these are H. pylori or these are contaminants. So the first thing is when you do a Giemsa stain, they'll be bluish stained. So this is all bluish stained bacilli. They'll be seen filling the crypt. Sometimes they can be less also, and many of them will be seen entrapped within the mucous epithelium that we see here. So many of them will be seen attached to the apical mucin that we see on the foveolae. Now important thing to differentiate them from the bacilli which are contaminant, that you can do with the help of Giemsa stain, because in Giemsa only H. pylori is going to show you this blue color, whereas the other bacilli, that is the contaminants like we could see here these pink-shaped bacilli. So these are the contaminants on the slide, and instead of being captured within the crypts, many of these will be seen also spread onto the slide. So this is how you're going to differentiate these H. pylori from the contaminants that we see on the slide. So if you move away from your stain, from the stain section, you could see that many of the bacilli would be seen on elsewhere also. So that is one important thing, and that will help you to differentiate H. pylori from the contaminants that we see on the gastric biopsy. And other important thing is these bacilli are going to be rod shaped, as I have mentioned, whereas there is another variant of H. pylori which is called H. pylori Heilmanni, which will be more corkscrew shaped. So if you see many encircling within the bacilli, if it is very much showing a corkscrew appearance, then you think of an H. pylori Heilmanni. It is less pathogenic as compared to H. pylori. But if you are seeing cryptitis on your gastric biopsy, if you are seeing polymorphs, you should go and hunt for an H. pylori. So thank you all. We'll stop here. So thanks all. We'll meet another in next session of chronic atrophic gastritis. Thank you everyone.